Well, we really determine our budget model by things that are, our business model by a lot of external factors that we can't necessarily control. And our business model seems to evolve from that and continue to evolve. And again, going back to state budgets, et cetera, and certain legislation that exists now that restricts our customer base within the state, as most states experience. We constantly seeking new ways to, as I said before, meet the needs of our customers, but certain constraints may cause us to go in different directions, certain items that DOC may eliminate in the prison system and that we previously produced and no longer are allowed. So we have to change what we're doing, what we're thinking. As far as maintaining financial sustainability, we need to find, especially in these budget times, try not to spend too much money, not having the funds to necessarily capitalize new operations or equipment within existing operations. One thing we've tried to do over the last few years is to utilize our existing capabilities and equipment to produce new or different products without having to go out and expend funds on equipment at this point. Or if we do that, it's through used equipment if we can. And by doing that, we have low input cost and still can produce additional products out of our existing equipment and capabilities and existing facilities that we have to operate out of. So, and I need to say also, we do the agricultural side as well as the industry side. And there are certain programs there that aren't always the most financially beneficial. And in some cases that occurs in the industries too. But the overall value that it provides to the department or the state justifies having it. And they'll go through cycles, and we plan our business so that we know we can have down times or down years in certain areas of our operations and sustain them through that until they can come back, because we know they're viable programs for other reasons than just financial. Our return on investment is determined in several ways. Number one, of course, financial statements. We produce monthly financial statements and analyze them each time. We look at our cash flow continually. We monitor our cash levels every day, as well as our receivables and accounts payable. But, you know, as I said on another answer, it's not just the financial return on investment. It's what we, as prison enterprises and or DOC, get out of the entire program that determines that we're able to continue doing some of these programs. As I said, on the agricultural side especially, we raise a lot of cattle, raise a lot of crops, and these offenders put a lot of work and time into it, and they'll work 12 hours a day at a time, and it's really beneficial to the prison itself. Gives them something to do, something they're proud of, and something if they release, they can utilize at least the work ethic part of it or work in a farming area. We forecast our financial performance by using several factors as well. We use past performance, of course. And as we do in other areas, we look at other state agency budgets who are our customers. And if we're aware of any of our other non-state agency budget situations, we look at that, and we look at past purchases from those agencies on average per year. And that way we can forecast, see what their usage is, see what they've bought from us in the past, and continue to do that. We also have existing job orders that come in and they for delivery at a certain time, and we look at that to see when our deliveries may occur and how it affects our cash, et cetera, and when it'll hit the financial statements for the bottom line. We also stay in touch with our sales staff that's out there on the road talking to customers. They find out who's going to be constructing new buildings, furnishing these buildings, or opening new prisons or work release facilities. And by that, in talking to them, if they're our existing customers or intend to be, we kind of calculate, where we're going to be down the road from there with job orders, which turns into our, cash flow and financial viability. So, well, inventory management and control is very important and help us sustain self-sufficiency through, if you can manage your inventory as well, you have a decreased chance of theft, obsolescence, mismanagement. Just forget about it, and all of a sudden, years later, here it is, and you have all this cost sunk into it, and it's not viable product anymore. It also allows us to fill orders properly and to deliver to our customers in a timely basis, and on the other side, if we know our lead times for raw materials and we keep our inventory levels low enough, we then can communicate to the customer when we are able to deliver an order. Now, we have some competing interests there, and especially in Louisiana, because we do tend to get the majority of our orders or a call, and they need 100 mattresses by the next day or the next day, so we do want to maintain some inventory levels, but you could end up sitting on that for several months. And, the more cash you have tied up in your inventory, the less you have to pay your vendors timely, et cetera. So it's a balance there. And then another unique situation we have in some, I guess, other Gulf states correctional industries may have is we've, been asked to maintain higher levels of inventory during hurricane seasons. So we have we do a little build up prior to June and have levels of mainly inmate garments and mattresses and such that if offenders are evacuated out of the local facilities along the coast, we can house them at some of the state facilities or wherever else. So, and we supply a lot of that need. The inventory management system contributes to our positive bottom line by allowing us to know what we have, know what we can deliver to a customer upon customer request. It also allows our sales desk to, sitting right there on a phone call, can look and see what items we have processed, what finished goods we have available that are unencumbered by other job orders, so that you're not informing a customer, yes, we can deliver this next week, yet come to find out that inventory was already promised to somebody. And we've made some strides over the last few years in bringing that system up, and as well as automating some of our shops out in the field. And we're still in that process of automating some. The automation also allows us to take less staff time in processing inventories and such, and producing financial statements quicker after the month end. Well, the internal audit system we use is not a formal internal audit system. The Department of Corrections, which we're a sub-agency of, does have an internal audit function, but and that's only been for 2 to 3 years at this point. And they've only kind of touched the surface of what we do as prison enterprises, only because of lack of time and resources and personnel, and they're busy with DOC issues. However, we are greatly regulated and audited by other agencies, including the legislative auditor, which does a yearly audit and will visit our facility as part of the DOC audit, our operations. We also have a Office of Risk Management audit yearly, and they look at our insurance risks and all that, and part of that is bonds and crimes, as well as we have a Louisiana Property Agency certification that we turn in every year, and they basically audit our books from there, and you have to identify any unlocated items that you have on the books in their system. So in that sense, it's monitored greatly by outside agencies. We also conduct year-end physical inventory counts as well as interim physical inventory counts that allows us to look and see on an interim basis anything that may be occurring here and there that we need to look at and modify what we're doing. If there's any great adjustments for the good or the bad, we look at that to make sure we're not doing something wrong in that process. And we also reconcile quite a bit of our accounts, within the accounting department there, and monitor our cash, as I said before.